Good morning. My name is Harold Adams, and today my topic is the need for gun control in America. So originally I took the position that was against the need for gun control, and after doing a lot of research and analyzation, I have decided to switch sides and go for the side that is for stricter gun laws. After thoroughly analyzing the strong ideas from both sides, the basis of change was based on the safety of our children and our fellow brothers and sisters, an ever-changing culture, and the ideology of other countries. Social contract also plays a large role in defining what is ethical and what is not ethical for defining these laws. So for my first video, I have the U.S. and the world's approach on gun control. So this is going to be analyzing the different countries that go into gun control, also a viewpoint from a reporter from Reading. She actually works for KRCS, and she interviewed one of the professors here at Simpson, Cherry McCabe, who is a specialist on, well, she's also a trained attorney as well as being a history, she has a doctorate in history. So let's see what she has to say.
Glad you're with us tonight. In part 4 of our week-long series, The Facts, Guns in America, KRCR News Channel 7's Kelly Saw breaks down how other countries regulate guns. As we've learned, several countries have increased gun restrictions over the years in response to mass shootings.
On this warm winter day, class is in session.
Oh, that thing's a cannon.
A small group of Americans set their sights on earning a concealed weapons permit.
Yeah, I like this puppy. This might be mine.
It's a class that would never happen in a place like England, where carrying a concealed weapon is illegal. The U.S. has the highest rate of gun ownership in the world. According to Gallup, 30% of Americans own guns, an estimated 88 guns for every 100 Americans. The right to own a gun is in the Second Amendment, something that sets us apart from most other industrialized countries. Assistant political science professor Cherry McCabe lectures about gun rights as part of constitutional law courses at Simpson University in Reading, California.
In other countries, many of their gun control restrictions reflect an entirely different ideology. If you want to buy a gun as a citizen in Germany, in France, in Spain, you have to affirmatively prove why you need a gun.
Individual state gun laws range widely from the lowest regulations in areas like the South and Midwest to the strictest gun laws in areas like the Northeast and California. Generally, all 50 states follow a basic set of federal gun laws. You must fill out Federal Form 4473 and pass a background check to buy firearms from federally licensed dealers.
You sign this form here and date it there.
But background checks are not required for private transactions, like sales at gun shows. There are no current federal laws banning assault weapons, handguns, or large capacity magazines.
It's much easier to compare California's gun laws with Great Britain or Canada than it is to compare the United States in general. California's gun laws are fairly restrictive. Idaho, Wyoming, Texas, they're not.
According to gunpolicy.org, our federal gun laws are permissive, while the other industrialized nations we studied are described as restrictive. In the United Kingdom, a school shooting in 1996 killed 16 5- and 6-year-olds in Scotland, prompting some of the toughest anti-gun legislation in the world. The UK passed a ban on the private ownership of all handguns in England, Scotland, and Wales. Even most police officers don't carry guns. To buy a shotgun or rifle, you must prove why you need it, such as hunting, pass background checks, and provide character references. In Australia, stricter gun laws were passed after the Port Arthur massacre in 1996. That shooting at a historic prison site and tourist attraction left 35 people dead. Gun owners were forced to surrender certain firearms to be destroyed by the government. Automatic and semi-automatic assault rifles are prohibited in most cases. Handguns handguns are strictly regulated, and there are limits on how much ammunition can be purchased.
Say Smith & Wesson, model 629 44 mag.
Rich Howell has been in the gun business in the U.S. for 30 years. He watches closely what's happening in other countries.
The United Kingdom doesn't have a Second Amendment. Australia doesn't have a Second Amendment. When they saw gun confiscation, they had to turn to their firearms.
In Canada, modern gun laws have also been driven by gun violence. In 1989, 14 students were shot and killed at a Montreal engineering school. That incident drove stricter gun legislation that followed. Possession of semi-automatic assault weapons is prohibited with narrow exemptions. Applicants for a firearm license must pass background checks which consider criminal, mental, addiction, and domestic violence records. The minimum waiting period is 28 days on the first application, and you must have 2 people vouch for you. Germany tightened its gun laws after a school shooting left 18 people dead in 2002. Possession of handguns and semi-automatic assault rifles are allowed only with special authorization. People wanting to buy a hunting rifle must undergo background checks that can last up to a year.
Taking the same holes, man.
The United States laws reflect Americans' unique attitudes about guns.
So, like they said, America's permissive gun laws give off almost a personality of the type of Americans we are. And many countries have already laid out stricter gun laws and gun control to prevent this violence. And this has happened from disasters that have happened in their countries. We've had many disasters with gun violence already happen in our countries, including gangs, robberies, school shootings, movie shootings. How long is it going to take? How many more shootings is it going to take for us to finally change, for us to finally mature and get safer laws in check? So, the opposing side might say, it's a part of our culture, it's a part of our history, you can't take that away from us. Well, a lot of things are in our culture and history that have changed over time in America. For example, when we first came to this country, we had black slaves, and now we have black presidents. We have change going on, we have feminism, from feminism to anti-feminism. Change can occur within our laws, and we have the power to vote, and the power is in our hands. The media also tries to control gun control, to try to stir up the people and try to create more of a bias towards one way or another. I showed that last video from Reading because it shows the truth and the facts. There's not a lot of biasism in it. It shows both sides as well as the true facts behind what America's policies are and what policies of other countries are. And it's our Christian duty to protect other people, so we should seek the most ethical and safe option for our community. Now, a result of stricter gun laws may be protests and other side effects that could be potentially harmful to our government, but people protest about things anyways. There's going to be 2 sides, always. So, like we were talking about in class the other day, after you see a headline go out of the news, about 2 weeks later, Americans tend to forget about it. Not saying that they will forget about it, but saying that the topic will cool down eventually, once they see that it is for a safer cause. So it's time to demand a plan. And this is my general theme of my presentation, is to demand a plan, to stand up and to call for action. So I'll show you this next video about demanding a plan.
Columbine.
Virginia Tech,
Tucson,
Aurora,
Fort Hood, Oak Creek, Newtown,
Newtown,
Newtown.
Newtown.
How many more? How many more? How many more colleges? How many more classrooms?
How many more movie theaters?
How many more houses of faith?
How many more shopping malls?
How many more street corners?
How many more?
How many more?
Enough. 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 Enough.
Demand a plan.
Right now. As a mom.
As a dad, as a friend, as a husband,
As a wife.
as an American.
As an American. As an American.
As a human being.
For the children of Sandy Hook.
Demand a plan. No more lists of names. It's not too soon.
It's too late.
Now is the time.
Before we all know someone who loved someone on that list.
No more lists.
No more.
Who they might have been, no more.
If we had just done something yesterday. It's time.
We can do better than this.
We can do better than this.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time for our leaders to act.
Demand a plan. Right now.
Right now.
You! Demand it!
Enough.
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 So although the message is simple, it gets straight to the point that we need a plan. And I use this message in particular because it uses many celebrities. A lot of people know, people that are in power, in America at least, are celebrities. So they're the type of people that can really get something, not necessarily a revolution, but more of an impact towards the government or towards who is in power, which is the media. So, the culture of America and the culture of guns. Our culture has been through drastic change since guns were invented. Our country's culture is based mostly on Western views and founded on Western views, such as the English, Scottish, French, and our ideas now are so much different from theirs. But we adopted government and our ways and means from them. So initially, we should look to them for almost as like a big brother, because they are older and we are an immature country. So looking to them for advice or ways to end this would be an effective plan. The recent fight for equality and safety the past 50 years has changed dramatically. Crime rates have spiked in our culture the past 10 years, and the separation between republic